Meeple Nation Podcast, bonus episode number 8, Cooperative Games Showdown.
Finish him.
Let it begin.
Welcome, citizens, to Meeple Nation. Grab your favorite beverage, pull up a chair, warm up those dice, and join us at the game table as we discuss board games and the board gaming world. Each week, the hosts of Meeple Nation share their love for board games and the amazing memories that come from playing games with some very outstanding people. Let us now join our hosts in their natural habitat, the game table.
It was kind of more of my wimpy side again, huh?
Yeah.
Letting that wimpy side back out.
Tends to come out on the bonus episodes for some reason.
Let me tell you about GameToppersLLC.com. It's a little website with big stuff. Big happy.
That's awesome.
Big happy happens at GameToppersLLC.com.
They should totally make that their slogan. GameToppers.com. The big happy.
Big happy.
Where big happy happens.
Game Toppers have some of the best things that you can do to your game room and to your game night. You hear us talk about it all the time, and it ain't no lie.
Baby, buy. As in, go buy some Game Toppers?
You guys were all supposed to do that together.
I was the only one that was there with you, Dave.
Yeah, that was not in my repertoire.
Check them out, GameToppersLLC.com. You will not be disappointed in what you see.
We are the hosts of Meeple Nation. I'm Nathan Howard.
I'm Dave Holliday.
I'm Andy Holliday.
And I am Douglas Stewart.
We have a website. We would really like you to go check it out. All sorts of goodness there. We have our pictures, we have our blogs, we have our past episodes, we have our email, meeplenation@gmail.com. All that can be found there, along with our Patreon link. Our Patreons make the podcast shine, and we appreciate and love their support. If you too want to be a member of the Meeple Nation family, jump on over there and sign up and support us any way you could. We would appreciate it. All that can be found at meeplenation.com.
All right, and that takes us into the weekly banter portion of our episode, where we get to talk about all the great things we've been playing, and I have been diving back into Final Girl, and I'm super excited about it. So this one hit the table. I had it out. I played a whole bunch of games, really got used to the system, played it a bunch. And then I needed the table space, so it got boxed up, put back on the shelf. I've now got it on a side table where it's set up and probably will be set up for quite a while. But I have loved diving back into Final Girl. It is such a great game. And I know like the solo only, single player only thing is a big barrier for a lot of people. I wish that it wasn't, because this is honestly just a fantastic game, and it really is fun to play. It's just this incredibly cinematic experience. It really leans into that trope of the final girl, the final character left in the horror movie, and it leans into a lot of those tropes. Borrows a lot from the sort of horror culture, I guess, which is not my thing at all, but it's just done so well in this game. I finally made it through all of Series 1, so it's now done. I've sort of played through all of the scenarios. I've unlocked all the stuff. I've beaten at least one scenario with every one of the Final Girls that comes in that box. Actually, I just sat down and got to play the Christmas special, which was the Krampus and Santa Claus Village box, and that was a ton of fun. And now I'm getting ready for the Series 2 box, so I'm going to bust that stuff out and start going through it. And I'm super excited that Series 3 is coming hopefully later this year.
Excellent. So I have been revisiting Tiny Turbo Cars. I love this game. Such an exciting game. It has a BGA implementation that is okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It doesn't. I mean, there's just so much about having that controller in your hand, that tactile shifting.
I can see that.
The BGA implementation allows you 30 shifts. But oddly enough...
But you can take as much time as you want.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Oh. So it's not, you don't have the race. It just says, okay, you can move 30 times, and you can sit there and noodle that out. I mean, you can stare at the screen for an hour and noodle out how to create the most efficient path with your car if that's what you really wanted to do.
That's too bad, because that's one of the best parts about that game. Is
I agree.
The anxiety of that.
Which is
100%.
why for me when I play, I don't try to, I mean, I look at what's coming up, but I I try to make those moves as quick as possible.
I do too.
That try to emulate that, because that is what makes Tiny Turbo Cars so great.
Yeah.
And but the app does a fairly good job of still running that. Just that one element is what you lose, but Tiny Turbo Cars is such a great game. And then also recently Doug introduced me to Sea Salt and Paper. Actually, Amber Lee was the one that was able to teach us this game.
After I taught it to her.
Yes, but she was very excited to teach several games, and that was one that she taught, and she did a very good job.
Yeah.
And this also has a BGA implementation, and it works just great. It's a very simple game. You're going to draw 2 cards, discard a card, or you can draw one of the cards from the discard pile. You're trying to amass in your hands. I don't know if amass was the right word there, but you're trying to gather in your hand 7 points. And once you gather 7 points, you can either call for the end of the game, or you can try to push to get higher. And you can end the game by either saying stop or last
chance.
Last chance.
Yeah.
And be able to try to get the most points. Very simple game. The art on the game is pictures, and it's all pictures of very ornate origami that is mind-blowing. I mean, what people can fold out of a piece of paper is amazing. And all the pictures, all the fish are different, all the boats are different, all the mermaids I think the mermaids are pretty much the same.
Yeah.
But very well done. Has a little blister pack that's an expansion, extra assault. And Andy, you're the only one that's actually played that. The rest of us just kind of watched you from the other table play it. But the cards that it adds in there, I think it's like 11 cards, maybe 10 cards that enhance that game even more and make it great. It's a little card box, put in your bag, put in your purse, put in your back pocket. Just don't sit on it, because
that would hurt.
Yeah, and respect the game. So
yeah, it's a great little filler game, though.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah, it was great. I had fun with it. Well, I got a chance to play World Wonders with my wife, Sabrina.
Ooh, how did she like it? This is what I'm looking forward to trying with my wife.
She did like it. My wife doesn't emote much unless she's mad. When I asked her, what did you think? She said, it's interesting, which is better than different, I guess. Because if she says it's different,
that means she doesn't like it?
That means it's maybe she's on the fence. She's not shy about telling me she doesn't like it.
Oh, okay.
The fact that she said it was interesting meant it was good.
It was on the other side of the fence, the positive side of the fence.
She was leaning towards the good side of the fence, I think. I need to play it with her again. It was obviously a learning game for her. I ended up building way more wonders than she did, and I'm not sure exactly what she was going for, to be honest. But she was building lots of roads, so it kind of felt like James was playing a little bit.
That's because I'm bringing the dinosaurs. Were there dinosaurs that were eating patrons?
Like, and I asked her, she's funny because she doesn't like help,
right,
at all in games. So I helped her a little bit right towards the end. I said she was going to do something. I said, just so you know, you could build this wonder, which would be worth more points to you. And she's like, oh, really? So I kind of showed her how she could do it. She's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do that. So I get really leery on trying to help her, even if it's her first play, because it is one of her pet peeves on, and she did thank me at the end. Thanks for letting me play my own game. You know, I know I was struggling, but thanks for letting me play my own game and figure it out. She likes to figure the puzzle out on her own without having a lot of help. She also gets frustrated when she gets completely destroyed. So it's kind of a catch-22. Anyway, we had fun.
So good luck with that, Andy.
Yeah, it was a good time. We both had fun. And I think if we play it again, she will do substantially better. Typically, if we can play them back to back or fairly close together, the plays, she'll pick it up fairly quickly. With our Rolling Realms, she completely got destroyed the first play, and then she more than doubled her score and was right up there with everybody else on the second time around. So
yeah, this is one of those games that I'm reluctant to teach my wife, because I will win maybe the first time, and then I will never win again.
It's a fun game. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Dave, what have you been playing lately?
I've played a game with Richie and his family called That's Pretty Clever. One of his new roll and writes. That was a pretty good one. I enjoyed it.
Which number? I think there's
the first one.
4 of those.
Yeah, that's the first one.
I think it's, yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Anyway, so oldie, but it's pretty good. It was new to me.
Yeah, no, it's a great game. This is one that my wife really enjoys as well.
Yeah, I've actually never played it with other people, but I've played the app quite a bit. Very cool. Well, those are some awesome games that we've been playing lately, and that means it's time to fight.
Let it begin!
Ready, fight.
This is the Meeple Nation definitive top 5 cooperative games. So what we have done, we have thrown our top 5 lists into Pub Meeple, and we are using their ranking system to let these games go head to head. And at the end of the episode, we will have a definitive Meeple Nation top 5. Now, this list in particular had quite a bit of co-op. Had a lot of co-op. It had all co-op.
Way to pull a Nathan.
Yeah, this list in particular had quite a bit of crossover. Oh. That was the word I was looking for. Crossover. And so we have 11 games now. Dave's with us. He's not usually with us. You didn't have a top 5 list. So this is Nathan, me, and Andy's top 5 list that went into this. There was, like, all of us had Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth on our list. And then there was some crossover with Stars of Ikarios and Oathsworn. So we have 11 games entering the arena today. And in alphabetical order, they are Big Trouble in Little China, Cthulhu Death May Die, Dead Men Tell No Tales, Descent 2nd Edition, Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle, Legends of Andor, Oathsworn Into the Deepwood, Return to Dark Tower, Shadows of Brimstone, Stars of Ikarios, and The Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth.
There are going to be some really difficult decisions made during this episode.
There is, but I already have a pretty good feeling at what's 11, 10, and 9.
Were they some that you put on your list, Nathan?
Yeah.
All right, the system is telling me that we are about to rank 11 games, and this will take an estimated 21 comparisons. Let them begin.
Let it begin.
First up, we have Shadows of Brimstone versus Big Trouble in Little China.
It's going to have to be Shadows of Brimstone for me.
Yeah, we knew that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there was no choice there. That's what I'm trying to decide for me. That's I really did like I did like Shadows of Brimstone, but it's totally Big Trouble in Little China for me.
Yeah, I don't think that surprises anyone. Dave?
This is actually a really hard one for me. I really wish that I had played Big Trouble in Little China.
You haven't played it still?
Nope.
Oh, well, you're missing out. You and Doug.
Because I still kind of want to pick it.
Can't believe you're a hater of Shadows of Brimstone, David.
It's been a hard one. Like I said, I want to love it, but I
will
say Shadows.
Well, it is Shadows for me as well.
Yeah, I know. Big Trouble in Little China, number 11.
It won't be number 11.
You think not?
Well, maybe. I think there's another one that'll be number 11, but we'll see. It might be. All right, here we go. Next up, we've got Oathsworn versus Journeys in Middle-earth.
Oathsworn. Yeah. I like
it. It doesn't matter what I have to say. It doesn't matter at all.
You're right.
But what's your vote anyway?
But you had fun.
That's Andy. A tough one, honestly. It really is. It
is.
It would really depend on my mood.
And that mood is right now. What would you feel?
I'd be Oathsworn.
Oathsworn advances. Next up, we have Return to Dark Tower versus Cthulhu Death May Die. This is Death May Die for me personally, but I don't know that you guys have played that one as much as I have.
I've only played the one time, and it wasn't really memorable for me. I mean, I really want to play it again.
Yeah.
But for that example alone, it's going to be Return to Dark Tower for me.
Yeah.
This one is very close for me also. I've played both of them twice. I might have played Return to Dark Tower 3 times. I can't recall for sure. But they both sit about the same place for me. And I am not entirely sure which one I like better. So I'm going to think on that, Andy, while you give us yours.
I was hoping you'd take a little longer. Yeah, this is a tough one. Yeah, I am really torn on this. If they were both at the table tonight, what would I want to play? Because that's really what it's coming down to.
Yeah, and I think with that question, I think I would lean to Dark Tower.
And I think I would go with Cthulhu Death May Die.
Wow.
So we haven't had a tie.
Haven't had a tie for a long time because we haven't had an even number.
4 people for a long time.
Yeah. All right. So how are we going to determine the tie? Do we want to do like a convincing arguments, or do we want to do like a flip the coin, or what do we want to do? Let me just throw this out there for those of you who are Return to Dark Tower. Remember, when we sit down to do these lists, it's about like, okay, if both of these were set up and ready to go, which would you be more in the mood to play? And maybe it's just because I've played it more than you guys have. But for me, Return to Dark Tower, it is fantastic. I mean, it made my top 5 list. It's an amazing game, but it is a little played out at this point. It needs more content. And there's still stuff I haven't experienced with Cthulhu Death May Die. Like, there's still fresh stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff that I haven't seen and really want to experience and play.
Yeah. And I haven't played Return to Dark Tower nearly as much as you guys have. So there's still plenty of content for me to discover there.
Sure.
There's obviously more content for Cthulhu Death May Die, but neither of them are stale. And I go on my last experience of Cthulhu Death May Die. Apparently not very memorable because I don't remember it at all. I remember sitting down at the table.
It was really late, and I think
It was late.
You were half asleep.
You were half
yeah.
asleep.
Yeah, which was definitely not prime time for teaching Nathan a new game. But yeah, no, I mean, I want to play them both again, but due to my experience, I'm still staying Return to Dark Tower.
And for me, Death May Die has fewer things that I really liked. Does that make sense? I love the going crazy, right? The way you get better is by going more crazy. Love that.
Yep.
But that's the only thing when I'm sitting here comparing the two, that's really the only thing that I love about that game. Now, I might like that better. No, I was going to say I might like that better than any single thing from Dark Tower, but I don't think so. From Dark Tower, there's more things that I really enjoy, and I enjoy them as much as that one thing.
Okay, so we have not managed to change anyone's mind, which means it's going to go down to a die roll. Now, before you roll the die, it is Return to Dark Tower, odds.
Okay.
And Cthulhu, evens.
Okay, here we go. It is even. Got an 18 on a D20.
All right. Cthulhu advances by the luck of the die.
By the luck of the die.
All right, next up, we've got Legends of Andor versus Dead Men Tell No Tales. This one's Dead Men Tell No Tales for me.
I think
This
we're
is the
gonna
one
have
that you're
another tie.
saying is going to be number 12.
Well,
or
I think
11.
so because, first of all, I think you're the only one here who's played it.
Yes.
No.
Well, Dave has too.
I have, and I loved it.
Okay.
So
okay.
for me,
all right.
it's like I said, I think we're having another tie here, would be my guess.
Oh, interesting.
I've played it fewer, but it was awesome.
But you've also played Dead Men Tell No Tales. You're saying it's better than Dead Men Tell
yeah,
No Tales.
oh yeah. In my opinion, yeah. It's
Why?
it's my,
Well, we really need to play this then. My
It's-
goodness. If you both love it so much.
I don't. It's kind of hard because I don't remember a lot about it. I remember I really, really, really enjoyed it, and I remember there were things that I was trying to accomplish in the game that I was excited about, and then when I did accomplish them, I was even more excited.
As far as the cooperative experience, how does it compare to Dead Men?
I don't remember.
There's not quite the chaos and, well, no, there is still, you have the panic, monsters overrunning Andor and overrunning the castle, and you have that anxiety of losing, and those monsters can stagger and jump over each other and get closer because there can only be one monster on a step. So there's the anxiousness of having to eliminate monsters as well as completing the quests, and all within a limited timetable that rushes you. So you have that same anxiety that you do within Dead Men Tell No Tales, but it is in that different theme and different feel. The way the battle is resolved, I think, is kind of iconic, and
So better cooperative play, though?
I think it's a better cooperative play because it's a challenging game. Dead Men Tell No Tales is also a very challenging cooperative game, especially when you put in the Kraken expansion, because you have to deal with all those tentacles along with all the fires and the skeletons. But the same thing with Legends of Andor. It's a great game.
And again, for me, like I don't remember a lot of the co-op because it's been several years since I've played it. But I love when my character can get better throughout the game. And I feel like with Dead Men Tell No Tales, there's more. It's more simplistic. There's just these few things that I'm gonna do.
Right.
Which I do get. However, leveling up a character isn't necessarily co-op.
Right. But
right? I mean, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Totally.
I do think you have to differentiate like a campaign. I mean, Dead Men Tell No Tales is not a campaign. Like leveling up a character isn't the point, right? And I do think that's an important thing to, and not that I'm actually trying to sway your decision. I'm just mostly pointing out that this is a top 5 cooperative games list. And I do think that it's important that we analyze these games on that criteria. And so having not played Legends of Andor, given how absolutely amazingly cinematic and cooperative Dead Men Tell No Tales is, I mean, then what I'm essentially hearing you two say is that Legends of Andor is just an absolutely phenomenal cooperative experience.
Like, you have to work together. There's no way you cannot win the game.
Which is super exciting, right? Like that just gets me all kinds of jazzed up to try it and eventually play it. So that's awesome. I think this is going to come down to another die roll. So we've got Andor as odd and Dead Men as even.
Okay, here we go. And we rolled a 12 on the D20.
Who's the one that keeps rolling?
The guy who keeps winning.
The guy who keeps winning. All right, so Dead Men is going to advance by the roll of a die. Next up, we have Shadows of Brimstone versus Stars of Akarios.
Oh, man.
Stars. That's an easy one.
That's a tough one.
Easy for me too.
Stars for you. If they were both at the table right now.
If they were both at the table right now, I would want to play Stars. And I love Shadows. I really do.
I do too.
It's a great game.
All right, Stars wins.
Okay. Would that have been your vote, though?
I don't know, honestly. I'd probably still have to go with Shadows.
Yeah. You are the addict.
I am. I have a problem.
I would like to play it again because it
our
seems
house
like
rules?
maybe you've made. Well, I've played it after some of the house rules were there, and the experience was cool, but I still had the exact same experience as far as, okay, so I've gone up a level, but I still don't get to do anything.
Oh, with the higher difficulty level that we've been playing? Yeah.
Interesting. We really just need to give it a shot.
Mm-hmm,
Sweet.
for sure.
Okay, next up we have Oathsworn versus Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle. Hogwarts Battle.
Ugh.
Yeah, now this is an easy Oathsworn for me.
As for me.
But Harry Potter is great.
It's a tough one for me again.
Harry Potter is great, but once again, I have to think about if they were both at the table, I'd probably be in the mood for Oathsworn right now.
Yeah.
I love Harry Potter. I really do, but
that's great.
I think I'd be more in the mood to play Oathsworn.
Now, going back to one of your previous things, though, do you feel like they are on the same level with the cooperation that's needed?
Actually, I feel like Oathsworn is much higher on the cooperative.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think
I don't know.
I kind of
between the two.
Way.
Yeah, but because if no one's healing you in Harry Potter,
You're done.
in
some place. I've had some place where
it's beatable without somebody playing Neville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had some plays where it was, but I've had definitely some plays where, you without that healing, you're done for.
Yep. Okay. Oathsworn will take it and advance. Next up, we have Journeys in Middle-earth versus Harry Potter.
I got to go with Harry Potter on this one.
I'm going to be Journeys. I just don't have the love for Harry Potter that you guys do. It's fun. I've enjoyed my time with it for sure. I'm not the guy that's going to stay up till 3 a.m. getting loopy and playing Harry Potter.
I don't have that same love either, but I just think of it as a great game. But coming down to the question, which one would I rather play right now? I might lean toward the other just because you guys, well, like I said, I played it that one time and it left me wanting more. And I am hearing all the good things from you guys.
So you're going to say Journeys in Middle-earth?
I don't know. I'm waiting for Doug to see if my vote matters.
My vote is Journeys.
Crap.
So you could make it another tie, Dave.
I think I would have to say Harry Potter just because I don't know. Like, if it were which one would I rather play right now, I would say Journeys. But which one is the better?
Then that is the
co-op
answer,
game?
because that is the criteria we use.
Okay. Because if it's just which one is the better co-op game or which one do I like better as a co-op game, I mean, I would have to say Harry Potter.
Well, I think if it's a tie, you use that as a tiebreaker. What would I rather play right now? If you think Harry Potter is the better cooperative game,
I guess that's true.
Then
because I know zero really about the co-op of the other. So I would have to say Harry Potter.
You can you can multi-class. Just so you know. Does that change your mind?
Now, hold on. I'm going to quote Doug. That's not part of the cooperative experience.
Touche.
All right, here we go. Die roll it is.
Okay, so before you reveal the result, Lord of the Rings is odd, and Harry Potter is even.
Okay, it's odd.
Lord of the Rings. Wow, that dice is loving my votes.
That's a bitter pill, Andy.
That's okay. They're both great games.
They're both great games.
All right, Cthulhu Death May Die versus Descent.
Oh.
Descent.
Yeah, Descent. Sorry,
Jinx.
Doug.
Yeah, it's Cthulhu for me, but I get it. I kind of forget that you guys don't have the same experience with this one that I do. So Descent, we'll take that one fairly easily. Next up, we have Stars of Icarios versus Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Stars of Icarios.
Stars of Icarios for me.
Yeah, stars for me too.
Oh man, well, that doesn't matter.
It does. Your opinion matters.
We do want to know.
Stars is going to advance, but
It
your
will.
opinion matters.
I
Are you
I
gonna-
love Dead Men Tell No Tales, and the co-op experience is still. I've got to vote for that. It's still. I still feel it's a more. Maybe not. I don't know. That's tough.
It is.
Stars is a fantastic co-op game.
It is.
The
It
thing
is a
that's-
great co-op game.
The thing that's so difficult for me with Dead Men Tell No Tales is I love the cinematic feeling of it.
Right.
Right. Yes, you have to work together. I love the action, being able to move to people, but I don't love. Again, like I said, I feel like I just have a few things that I can do, and that's it. Right.
There's a lot you can do on your turn. The only reason why I'm questioning it is because the dog fights in Stars.
Those are cool.
They're amazing, and that's where a lot of the cooperative.
I think that's probably the biggest thing for me for the game too.
Right.
Sure. There are also fun story decisions to be made.
There are. You're right.
And we have found ourselves deliberating and going back and forth on how we're going to handle certain things on the away missions.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can really
To me,
make
it's
too
just
much of a cooperative. I mean, Stars is incredibly cooperative, right?
And it's just multi-layered
Right.
as well.
Right. Yep. The bottom line is there's not a bad game on this list.
No.
Right.
And if I had to, I guess if I had to play something right now, I would still pick Stars. And with it being a toss-up for me, that's probably what I'd have to pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
But your love for Dead Men Tell No Tales is well noted.
Yes.
Now let's see if we can change. Let's see if we can dump that love right on its head, because the next matchup is Dead Men Tell No Tales versus Shadows of Brimstone.
Oh boy.
And
Shadows of
sud-
Brimstone wins.
and
Sorry.
suddenly, Dead Men Tell No Tales is dead to Andy.
Yeah, Shadows wins that one.
I think Shadows for me as well.
Yeah, man. I think I'll be honest. If they were both set up at the table right now, I think I'd rather play Dead Men Tell No Tales. But that again, if we're only using that as a tiebreaker, I think it goes to Shadows.
I think I would probably pick Shadows as well.
Okay, Shadows advances.
Shadows wins.
Next up, we've got this will be kind of interesting. Big Trouble in Little China versus Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Dead Men Tell No Tales for me.
You know what's funny is there's that long pause that we always edit out as we all kind of stop and go.
Yeah, the listener doesn't know that after we read the matchup, there's oftentimes dead silence for a long time.
Yeah, his brain's cranking.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh man, that is. I'm still gonna go Big Trouble in Little China.
And I'm gonna go Dead Men Tell No Tales.
I think, well, since I haven't played,
Then you
Big
have
Trouble
nothing
in
to
Little
compare
China.
it to, so it's
so I
Dead
would
Men
say
Tell
Dead
No
Men
Tale.
Tell No Tales.
So it's 3-1. Oh, you're gonna say Big Trouble in Little China?
No, but if I rolled an 11, then Dead Men wins, and I did. So
He says after he sees the dice result.
And he plays dice like me.
all right.
Dead Men advances. Next up is Big Trouble in Little China versus Legends of Andor.
Legends of Andor.
wow.
Well, after everything you guys have said about it, it's going to be Legends of Andor for me.
Yeah.
Because both of these are games I haven't played. And if these two are at the table, I'm definitely going to the Andor table.
Dave.
Same. Andor.
Okay. Legends of Andor.
Okay, Legends takes it. Next up, we've got Descent versus Oathsworn.
Mm.
Or
So
Descent?
it is tough, but it is tough.
Elsewhere.
I think I have to say Descent.
I think this one's going to come down to a die roll. Because I think Nathan and I are 100% Oathsworn, and I think you two are 100% Descent.
You're right. I'm
Yeah.
Descent. Team Descent.
But it's very difficult.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Here we go. What are
Okay.
we looking at?
Descent is odds, and Oathsworn is evens.
I wasted my 11. Dang
Yeah, you
it.
did.
What's the result?
18.
18.
Oh,
Even
Oathsworn.
18. Oathsworn's going to take it. Next up, we've got Descent versus Journeys in Middle-earth.
Descent
Descent.
again. Yeah, that's
Descent.
an easy one.
Okay, awesome. Well, we'll just we'll mark it then. Next up, we've got Cthulhu Death May Die versus Journeys in Middle-earth.
Yeah, that's tough.
This is Cthulhu for me, but I love both of these games and have tons of fun memories. I mean, I love Journeys in Middle-earth.
I got to use the same logic I used before, right? I don't remember the co-op in Journeys of Middle-earth. So even though that's the one I would choose to play, And I feel like I would choose to play that one every time. I think I have to. Yes. Yeah, you got me with that. I think I would have to say the other
Cthulhu
one.
Death
Yes,
by Die.
Whatever the other one was.
I'm going to say Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth.
I'm going to say Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Really, another
Die roll.
Man, we are so split on this one. Here's the thing, though. This is all just for fun, obviously. But a lot of these are just coming down to the die rolls. And honestly, it makes sense because these are 11 fantastic games.
Yeah.
They really are.
But like I said, this one was just hard because I feel like I will absolutely like Journeys of Middle-earth better. But I don't at this point, so because I don't know it.
All right, what are we looking at?
Gotcha. Okay, we've got Death May Die is odd and Journeys is even.
It's odd.
I think Doug is
17.
still 100% on the
He is.
die rolls.
I am 100%. Wow. Death May Die takes it. Okay, next up we've got Return to Dark Tower versus Journeys in Middle-earth.
I think Doug has the algorithm memorized. All right, Dark Tower.
Dark
and
Tower versus Journeys in
Journeys in
Middle-earth.
Middle-earth, huh?
It's Journeys Middle-earth for me.
And I have to go with Dark Tower.
So interestingly, both incredible apps, right? So both of these have really, really amazing app integration.
I'm going to change my vote.
Okay.
The only reason I'm changing my vote is because I feel like you have to work together more in Dark Tower than you really do in Journeys in Middle-earth. You have to work together, but the co-op cohesion that needs to happen is far greater in Dark Tower.
Agreed.
Yeah, and that was the logic. So both of these were on my list, right? And Journeys was number 5. Dark Tower was, I believe, I want to say it was number 3 or 4. So that was exactly why, right? Is because the cooperative part of Journeys was less than it was in Return to Dark Tower. So it is a Return to Dark Tower vote for me as well.
And that's unanimous.
Okay, Dark Tower takes it. Next up, every
Unanimous
one
vote.
of these showdowns, I get 2 of my little babies that have to fight, and I just hate it so much. But this is going to be Oathsworn versus Stars of Icarios.
This is the
Oathsworn.
one I was worried about too.
Oathsworn for me.
Gonna be, I love them both, but it's totally going to be Stars for me.
Oh, man.
Man,
Dang it. That means I have to make a choice.
Oathsworn is just the story. I like the story in Stars. Don't get me wrong. It's cool.
I love the app in Oathsworn.
Yeah. The app is great. The boss battles are
Epic.
They are more epic to me than the dog fights are.
I just think that Stars you have the dogfights, you have the away missions, you have the story. It feels more involved with me with that combination. And you have to work together with the dogfights. You can't
Leave Andy by himself.
a hot dog. You can't hot dog it. You have to be able to make sure that we're all protected.
I just feel like on the away missions, it's more of a hurry up and get to the spot so that you can do the feat of strength before anybody else does.
Yeah,
I do.
I didn't feel super cooperative on the away
Well,
missions.
sort of, except that each character has a different strength, right? Like some are better at certain checks than others. So I feel like that's definitely the case at first, because the beginning of the away missions usually are easy tests for
Right.
everybody.
Right.
And then as you explore more of the map, they get to be more specialized tests. And then it becomes, okay, how do we help so-and-so get across the map, or how can we get them here to do this? But there isn't really a lot you can do cooperatively for that. That person just has to spend their cubes and get over there and do the test.
Right.
It's not necessarily a cooperative thing. So I can kind of see what you're saying as far as that goes.
Now you're gonna make me change my vote.
This is going to be Oathsworn for me. I'm going to vote the same way I had them ranked on my list. But it's real close. I mean, it's by the skin of its teeth, just barely.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I like just the different layers to Stars of Icarios better, for sure. Because I feel like the in-city stuff in Oathsworn it's cool, it's fun,
Yeah, that's where it kind of
It's
loses
just-
me.
it's just not like
It's
that
interesting
game
though,
is
because
made in the boss battle.
oh, it is, and I do agree with that. Although it's interesting that both of you, because I don't know that you are as invested in the story, or I don't know, like that part doesn't capture you quite as much. But it's interesting because I think for Andy and I, like that's some of the best stuff in the game. And I will just remind at least listeners, if you know anyone's unfamiliar, that that story part does have you deciding as a group where to go and how to handle different
Right, for
situations.
sure,
So it is
yeah.
a highly cooperative part of the game.
No, and I want to be invested in the story, but I haven't been able to follow it, to be honest. Like I'm lost a lot of time in it.
Yeah, I'm
So-
changing mine to Oathsworn.
Nice. I think we
Cool.
caught him, Andy. Fist bump.
Yep.
Boom.
Fist bump. We caught him.
We got him.
Reel him in.
We brought him over.
Another unanimous.
All right.
Floppity.
Oathsworn takes it. Next up, we've got Descent versus Stars of Icarios.
Stars for me. I'm not changing my vote this time.
It's Descent.
It's
Descent
Descent.
for me still.
That's okay. You shouldn't change your vote because it is Stars.
All
Which
right.
means we got another dice roll.
Another die roll.
So Descent will be odds. Icarios will be evens.
Don't screw it up. Dang it.
You need to quit wasting those extra rolls, Andy Poops.
I just did
So
it again.
it was even. So Stars takes it. All right. Next up, we've got. Oh, now we get two of Andy's babies to fight. We got Descent versus Shadows.
Descent.
Descent.
He says so easily.
Yeah,
It would be Descent for me on this one as well.
I think Descent for me.
Okay. Actually, wow, I thought that was going to be more of a thing, but that was a unanimous Descent. Okay. Death May Die versus Shadows.
Death May Die.
Shadows.
Death May Die.
I think I'm Death May Die as well.
Yeah, you will be. Now.
Okay. On a 3-1 vote, Death May Die takes it. Next up, we've got Return to Dark Tower versus Shadows.
Return to Dark Tower for me.
Return to Dark Tower.
Shadows has so much to offer.
Oh, it does.
I'm going to say Shadows.
And I kind of get it because at this point, I really.
Doug is so burnt out with Dark Tower.
No, I'm not. Like, in fact, I've only played the Covenant expansion twice. It's just that I've seen all the different combos that it has to offer. I fought all the bosses. I fought most combinations of monster bosses. I've definitely played through. I've played through all of the story scenarios that it has in the app, and a lot of them like 2 or 3 times. So, yeah, I am a little bit burned out on Dark Tower.
But again,
I want to play. Yeah, and I want to play. and then you go and do that. Because I think I'm probably a little bit more in the mood to play Shadows, but I think that Return to Dark Tower is a superior cooperative game, but not by much. I think my vote has to be Dark Tower.
Okay. I think Dark Tower took it.
I think so. All right. Next up, we've got Journeys in Middle Earth versus Shadows of Brimstone.
Shadows.
Shadows of Brimstone.
Oh, yeah, I think it's Shadows. But I want it to be Journeys so bad. I'll tell you because I want to finish. I still have one more campaign I want to play in Journeys in Middle Earth, and so I still have that that lure of the unexplored content that I want to go through.
And here's why I have a hard time voting for Shadows. Like the reason that so many of us haven't liked Shadows as much is because it's almost as if it's not a cooperative game because my character doesn't matter. Right. Like, and so many of the characters.
Well, and I have played games where that is the case. Like I had one where it was the same thing. It was like my movement was so slow. I was walking in just as everything died. I felt like I was just like the little tag along pet. It wasn't a cooperative experience at all.
Right. And that's where I'm getting at, where I'm like, I think I'd have to give it to not knowing the cooperation. Like I said, in Journeys, like my experiences with Shadows, even after we've made some of the house rules were that Shadows was the cooperation and it doesn't matter because I don't have to do anything.
Sure you do. It's just like D&D, Dave.
You
You're
gotta-
just as useful.
Yes.
You just got to follow. You just got to follow Andy and Logan around with their super soldiers and pick up the loot.
Pick up the loot and the treasure.
That's the best thing I've
All
heard.
right, so
long
back to the vote. So I okay. After hearing that, I think it does have to go to Journeys just based on the co-op part. So Journeys for me, Nathan. Where were you at?
He was
I don't
Shadows.
remember.
Shadows, and I think you were Shadows.
Yeah,
Dave?
so we're a die roll.
And Journeys for me.
Okay, so back to a die roll. Journeys is odd. Shadows is even.
It's odd. Still 100%.
I am still 100% on these dice rolls.
Wait, I thought you said Journey. Oh yeah, Journeys was awesome.
Yeah. Okay, next up we got Harry Potter versus Shadows.
Shadows of Brimstone.
Shadows of Brimstone.
Yeah, it's Shadows.
Shadows wins.
Yeah, it's Shadows. All right, Harry Potter versus Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Yeah, boy, that's a tough one.
Now we've got Andy's babies fighting.
Dang it. That's a tough one.
Yeah, that is a hard one.
Choose me.
I love Dead Men Tell No Tales. I think in this case, though, with this particular lineup, I think it's Harry Potter.
I think it is too.
It is for me.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, I think it is. Harry Potter. Okay, it's going to advance. And that, as they say, is that.
That's it.
So
So
without looking at the list, we got number 12 is...
number 11, because there was no
or
12.
Number 11, Big Trouble in Little China. So number 11 is Big Trouble in Little China.
You are correct.
Number 10
11 is Big Trouble in Little China.
is Legends of Andor.
You are once again correct.
Number 9 is Harry Potter.
You are incorrect.
Dead Men Tell No Tales.
It is Dead Men Tell No Tales at
Then
number
Harry
9.
Potter.
Then Harry Potter at number 8.
Wow.
And then Lord of the Rings.
That is incorrect.
Dang it, I was so close. All right, I give up.
All right, so
give up.
so I'll pick it up at number 7. Number 7 was Shadows of Brimstone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then number 6 was Journeys in Middle-earth. Then we move into the top 5.
Top 5.
Creme de la creme. Number 5, Return to Dark Tower.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Allowed.
Number 4, Death May Die.
Okay.
Number 3, Descent.
Yeah.
Number
No.
2, Stars
Oh,
of
really?
Vicarios.
I would have had it the other way around. No, I would have. Yeah, it was definitely.
Yeah.
Yep. Oathsworn was
Yep.
definitely.
And then number 1 was Oathsworn.
It's a good
I
game.
mean, I think we're not super far off on that.
Well, some of the lists that we've made, there's a gap. Like you almost, like we'll have 15, 14, whatever it is on the list. And you almost get to like, you go like the 7 through whatever it is, 14 or 15. And it's like, those are almost in a different camp apart from the top 5, 6, whatever. All 11 of these, I think, are just like right in the ballpark.
Yeah, and I think honestly the top 5 could have been completely different. It all came down to die rolls.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
did.
definitely.
really did.
Like Descent lost twice on die rolls
Right.
to Stars and Oathsworn.
The top 5 are almost completely interchangeable with each other as far
Right,
as
yeah.
order. You almost just put them all as like the Meeple Nation number 1 cooperative game of all time is Oathsworn, Stars of Vicarios, Descent, Cthulhu, Death May Die, and Return to Dark Tower.
because they got to cooperate.
Yeah. And they are all cooperating with each other at number 1. And on that note, until next time.
We'll see you ringside as you grasp for the wire road on your way through the deep wood.
Thank you for listening and being a part of Meeple Nation. If you would be so kind as to follow, subscribe, share, and rate or review this podcast, it really helps to spread the fun. You can be more involved in supporting the podcast by joining the nation at patreon.com/Meeple Nation, or you can find a link at the top of our webpage, meeplenation.com. And while you're there, look at all our extra content. There are links to all our past episodes, a wide variety of blogs, pictures from our Instagram feed, and bios for all the hosts and our awesome bloggers. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all under Meeple Nation. If you would like to chat with the hosts or other members of the nation, you can join our Facebook group, Meeple Nation Off Air. We hope to see you again at a game night, a con, or maybe a suspense-driven evening of Werewolf. Thank you for listening and supporting Meeple Nation, and stay tuned for next week's episode.
Thank you so much for listening. We very much want to thank our patrons who help keep the podcast running. I personally want to thank my co-hosts for all the help they provide with both content here on the podcast, in addition to what we have available on our website. Without them, the podcast would not happen. If you too would like to support the podcast, you can join the nation at patreon.com/Meeple_Nation. Or you can find a link to Patreon at the top of our webpage, meeplenation.com. If you have any questions, comments, or games you feel should be on our radar, you can always reach us at meeplenation@gmail.com. We can't wait to hear from you. I am grateful to Doug and Andy who helped me edit episodes, and I want to thank James and Kim Clark who do the editing on our blogs and on our webpage, which can be found at meeplenation.com. We want to thank Brain Detergent for our music. If you want to find more from him, you can follow his links that can be found on our webpage, or simply search for Brain Detergent on YouTube to find more of his tracks. Thank you again for listening and being part of the Meeple Nation community.